Oh. All right, we are live. Welcome to the Well Dressed Weekly Show. My name's Afton Porter. I'm a life coach and fashion stylist where I help women become style icons in their industry. And we have an exciting one today. We have a guest who's going to teach us the 5 secrets to natural posing. But before I do that, I want to let you guys know that today, I was not expecting it. I would have given you guys a heads up. I was going to let you guys know tomorrow, but my podcast just launched, you guys. It's called Style Icon Mindset. So you can find me there. There's a link inside the group, but if you would please go check it out, go listen to it. There's only 2 episodes on there right now, but we're going to be adding them to there. And I would love for you guys to go listen, subscribe, and leave a review. I would love you forever if you will do that. And I'll give you a shout out. If you have a business, I'll give you a shout out on there too. So please go do that as soon as you get a chance. But without further ado, I want to introduce you guys our guest today, who is teaching us the 5 secrets of easy natural posing. She is a photographer. Her name is Crystal Summer. Is it Crystal Summer Bear? Yes. Okay. Crystal Summer Bear. She is a photographer who focuses primarily on women and women entrepreneurs, helping them to build both their confidence and brand through photography. Photos and videos is such an important part of developing a relationship with followers and potential clients. Having photographed a range of women from top Vogue models to local CEOs and solopreneurs, she is able to bring a brand to life through video and photography. And I'm so excited to bring Crystal on up. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. This is a subject I'm really passionate about, and I'm really good at. I hate those fake fake poses, fake smiles. I'm really into like being your natural, authentic self. So I'm excited to be able to share this with other women entrepreneurs, because I'm a big advocate for building small women businesses to big women businesses, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know there was like one tip that I work with fashion models all the time as a fashion stylist, but just like there was one simple tip, and I don't know if you're going to teach it today, so I'm not going to spill the beans. I'll tell you at the end if you teach it today. But learning this one little tip just kind of makes you look more friendly in the photos, and it just kind of looks more real. Anyway, you're probably going to share it because somebody taught it to me that is another stylist. But I'm excited to learn what you have to share, because a lot of us are women. Well, we're all women, and a lot of us either have a business, have an MLM, we're doing something in the fashion industry, and this information that you're going to provide today is going to be powerful in our businesses and in our life. And, who doesn't want to just take good social media pictures, if nothing else, right?
Exactly. Or just, knowing how to do family photos. Like, we just came from July 4th. Everybody just took pictures of, friends and family. It's great to actually, look good in those photos.
Yeah.
Like you share even for your private life, let alone your business life, but it's very helpful in your private life as well. So
yes. Yeah. I love it. All right. I'm going to step down and I'm going to let you go all out.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me just a minute. All right. Can everybody see my screen? All right. Looks like it's good. Okay. So what I am talking about with you today is 5 secrets to posing naturally. So we're going to go ahead and just chat about one of the first things about posing naturally, which is the secrets to a natural laugh. Okay, we all grew up with that, say cheese Or that corny thing when we were as little babies, our parents stood over us and with these like quirky smiles and said, say cheese, smile, laugh. And so we actually grew up learning to do that fake, awkward laugh thing. So one of the best ways to get photos like this is to actually just kind of, well, the first tip is actually just to lean in towards the camera. So one of the biggest things I see people do specifically at weddings when I am, because I do weddings as well, but when I'm with a large groups of people or even with single entrepreneurs, one of the things they do when they laugh naturally is throw their head back and then you're looking up their nose. So one of the best tips I can say when you're trying to do a natural laugh is actually leaning in towards the camera, which is what this beautiful young lady is doing right here. That is like the number one tip to not getting that awkward up the nose look when you're doing those, when you're doing the natural laugh. Another big tip is if you're doing this yourself, it's actually best to grab a family member or a friend or have them like just jump around, do something funny and like really ridiculous things, like saying things that you would say or have them say things to you like what you would get your toddler to laugh, like don't pick your nose or don't eat your, things that are really silly is one of the best ways to actually get that natural laugh in. Have a family or friend tell a joke, tell a story, do something so ridiculous that you would do this to get your 2-year-old to laugh. It actually works. And I actually just did a branding session last night and we were chatting about this. I would tell her like silly things. Once in a while, I'll even play peekaboo with an adult and they will actually laugh and get that natural laugh. So that's one of the best things. And then like in this photo is using a prop, a cell phone, a coffee mug, something that makes you feel comfortable and natural is another great way to get you in the mind of the natural laugh. It's really getting out of your, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to get this natural laugh. And you just kind of psych yourself up and you can't do it. You have to relax and just like lean into it. Another great way. So part of what makes a laugh natural is what you're doing with your body, and it really helps you. Athletes do similar things to get them psyched up when they go out onto the field, a swim meet, whatever it is. They have these kind of rituals to kind of calm themselves down. It's a similar thing when you're taking photos. You want to make yourself comfortable, putting your hands on your hips or in your pockets, kind of just like pretending like the camera isn't there and looking down or laughing. Again, if you're doing this with your phone, which a lot of us are when we're first starting out, we're doing our phones or using our phone for our own social media posts. It's a really great idea to just have someone with you. When I did this for myself, I had my best friend with me and we just kept laughing back and forth, and I was able to get really natural photos because we were laughing and communicating back and forth. And she was also keeping an eye on the camera. I had it on a little tripod to make sure that I was taking the right photos. But looking down, like even right there, she's like laughing down. Her eyes aren't even on the camera, and it looks awesome. And another great thing is when you're looking down and you're laughing, blinking up to the camera, not even moving your head up so much, just like glancing up at the camera and snapping that selfie will get a really natural smile as well. Another great option is playing with your hair. I tell couples and women and such to just giggle down their shoulder, like look down your shoulder and giggle like a little schoolgirl, who has a crush or saw something embarrassing, just that little cute giggle. It's almost like that embarrassment giggle when we were kids. So this is one of the first tips. And I know there's actually a lot of tips within just this one. But I'm hoping that really helps with your smiles. If you have any questions, go ahead and put that in the comments right now. This is a full screen, so I can't see the comments at the moment, but I will definitely get to that at the end. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. So go ahead and pop those in the comments, and I'll answer any questions at the end here. Okay, so another big tip is leaning casually on an object. Okay, this is big way to look natural. Again, part of looking natural is actually not part. The whole thing with looking natural is your mindset. But you can alter your mindset by doing something casual, by getting your body in a casual stance. So one of the things that I have women do is lean against a wall, putting your hand, your fingers, just your fingers, not your whole hand, in a pocket, or hold, if you're having a jacket, holding onto your jacket. But I love the look, this just leaning against the wall right here. She just has her hands in the pocket. And right below here, she's just crossing her hands. And you can see the stance. It's welcoming. It's not that hands, I'm a mad look. It's just kind of that relaxed. If you were leaning against the wall at a party, how would you do that? If you were leaning against the wall and you didn't have a place to put your hands, you don't have pockets, you kind of just cross them in front of your chest. And if you do that with a really nice natural smile and kind of drop your shoulder down a little bit, it's really cute. And it's a really comfortable way for you to take photos that feels natural to you. A little tip, though, is to make sure to have the camera at least at eye level or slightly above. This is for the most flattering look. Now, if you're going for a power pose, then putting the camera from below and shooting upwards, a great way to do a power pose. But if you're at all concerned about your face or your chin or anything like that, shooting at or above eye level is the best tip to do. And this includes taking selfies. If you're taking a selfie, you want to definitely put put the phone slightly above eye level, and you will love your photos right off the bat. And I think I mentioned this before. It says, don't think about looking natural. Think about something that makes you smile, whether it's your child. I'm sure a lot of us on here do have kids, or your niece. For me, just I'm starting to laugh right now, just thinking about my niece and the funny things that she says and does. And I'm laughing. Okay. Simple little tricks like that. That's all it takes. Another big thing is leaning forward. You're going to see, I don't know for you if it's on your right or left. I don't know if it's reversed, but for me, it's on the right, and she's wearing pink and she's leaning forward. And you'll see that the camera is slightly below. That actually works for her. It looks really good, but you will see that it is shooting up her nostrils a little bit. It doesn't bother me, but you want to feel and look comfortable in your photos. So if you don't like the way that looks, just change where you're taking the photo. I love that because she's just leaning over a simple railing on a stairway. That could be anywhere. It could be at a school, at a church, whatever. It could literally be anywhere. And I know on iPhone, I think it's like portrait mode will blur the background. And that's how you get a really beautiful look like that. It's super simple. And then on the left, you'll see someone just literally sitting there, leaning on a high log object, whatever it is. It could be a short wall, and you're just leaning on it. It's a sweet, natural look. She's not even smiling. You don't have to be smiling the whole time. She's just like looking straight at the camera. There's a lot of different ways. And once you start kind of learning how you can pose that you feel comfortable, you start getting more comfortable with it, which is really great. And you start being able to do it on your own. And she is actually doing this in the forest. So if you have a more rustic business or holistic, so if you sell holistic products, especially like if I know one MLM is Arbonne. I actually used to work with them. They're very holistic in their approach, and using a nature background is a really great option, especially if you are outdoorsy and you love camping. That's a really great option. This is a log or a fence. The sky's the limit, just walking around town. I did a whole photo shoot for myself, just walking around downtown. So the next thing is sitting in a casual, natural way. So I'm going to tell you a little secret. I cannot stand the way I look when I'm sitting. So I have a really short waist and my hips are fairly wide. And so I don't like the way I look when I'm sitting. So I sit in a specific way where I feel comfortable and confident in myself. And actually the two poses that I'm showing right here are two poses that I personally use when I'm doing a sitting photo, especially if it's showing my whole body, because like I said, I'm really self-conscious about the way I look when I sit down straight. So when I sit down, I like to sit, if I'm sitting in a high chair or stool, which To be honest, I don't love to sit in unless they have like this has a little place to put your feet. I kind of roll onto my hip, and you can see how she's kind of rolled onto one of her hip, and I cross one of my legs, and you can see that the chair, I'm almost sitting, you're almost sitting backwards in that chair, but the chair is kind of hiding part of her hips. Now, obviously she's a more petite woman, and I'm not, but if I were to sit like that, that hides part of my hips. So I don't feel so self-conscious. I cross my legs and I kind of drape my arm over the leg to hide a little bit more of my hips. And so it really slims you down if, hips is something that you're self-conscious about. That's a big thing for me. So I really wanted to touch on that. And then over on this side, she's just sitting on the ground, like with one leg up. You would never want to sit down with your legs straight forward. For one, it's really uncomfortable. It'll lock your knees up. And if you're uncomfortable, it will show in your photos. When I'm doing a shoot for people, I can see right off the bat if they're uncomfortable. So I'll be like, hey, if you're uncomfortable in this position, we can go ahead and move you to over here, because I can see it right off the bat if they're uncomfortable. When I actually did my own branding session, I hired a photographer to do a branding session for me. And I did this cute little pose. It looks great in the photos, but I could only be in that pose for about 2 seconds because I have lower back issues, and being on my stomach on a squishy bed with a computer in front of me was not conducive to really great photos. I think she snapped one good one before I was like, I'm done. Bye-bye. You have to be careful. You have to be comfortable when you're doing your photo shoot. So one of the things is right here, like I said, is just sitting on the ground and holding onto your knee. And you don't have to be super flexible to do this. You can do this on a bed, on a couch. The sky's the limit. It really depends on what kind of look you're going for with your brand. This lady, she's using a couch. She's literally just lounging on her couch with her feet up on the couch and her knees bent. This is also a great option, again, if you want to hide any part of your body that you're uncomfortable with. Like, again, for me, that'd be my hips. So this is a great way. This is, you don't really see much of the hips. I'm a little self-conscious about my lower belly a little bit. So I cover that up. I really shouldn't be, but we all have things we don't like about ourselves. And I like to be super transparent and share my struggles, because just secret, most photographers hate getting in front of the camera. I actually enjoy getting in front of the camera and the challenge and, fighting through any mindsets and confidence issues that I have. So I actually love it. But a lot of photographers don't. And it's the simple fact is they don't like the way they look in photos. Which I think is funny. But, and then over here, she's literally simply sitting on the ground. She's actually probably sitting, you can't really see this. I believe she's sitting on a step. But the way it's cropped, you crop your hip out, right? Which is also, it's great. You don't want to crop your knee out. She's leaning on her knee, and you want to, look, it's a nice casual photo. But if you don't like any part of you, you can crop that out. That's the great thing. And you can crop that out on Windows, on an iPad, on your phone. It's so simple. If you don't like a certain part of that photo, you just crop out the part you don't like. And this is just such a great natural way that she's sitting there with her, hand in her hand on her chin, and just kind of relaxed there and probably thinking of something really funny. Or the photographers made a joke. I joke that I am a comedian when I am on a photo shoot, because I do spend a lot of the time trying to make my clients laugh. And then when I don't want them to laugh, sometimes it's difficult because I'm in that mode of trying to get them to laugh. So again, if you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and, just because I know I'm kind of moving kind of fast, if you have any questions, go ahead and pop it in the comments and I'll answer it at the end. But another great option is using props to create natural images. So I'm a huge, huge coffee drinker. And even if you're not, if you're a tea drinker, whatever it is, obviously we all drink some kind of liquid. We all have to live, so we all drink something. And most of us have some kind of morning routine of sorts. Mine is getting up and drinking a cup of coffee and writing in my journal. And that's part of my morning routine. And that's a great photo. She's in a kitchen, obviously. Obviously, if you don't like your kitchen, you can do this at a little corner of your house with just a white wall behind you. Not all of us have beautiful kitchens. My kitchen is not gorgeous. If I were to take a photo of this for me, I would probably do it in front of my walkway wall, which has photos of all of my family behind it, because that's personal, and it shows my potential clients a little bit about me, and it opens a window into my life. The whole point of using props in images to make them natural is to show your potential clients a window into your life. So we're going to go into a little bit of the strategy behind this. So you're looking about what she's doing. She's looking about 45 degrees away from the camera, which is a great way to like make it look candid and make it look like someone just walked in and snapped that photo. You don't want to look completely like 90 degrees because then you're basically just half your face is gone. And I personally don't like the way I look like that. If you do and you love it, go for it. I like being able to see the little eye there because I feel like it gives it more dimension. You're talking photos are two-dimensional. So the more dimension you can give a photograph, the better. And something like this just is really, it's just really natural and beautiful. And she's just enjoying, the morning with the sun in her face. If you don't like showing your face and you just want to get started kind of showing your face, using something like a journal or a book to just kind of like peek above it is a great way to just kind of tiptoe into starting to share your photos of yourself on social media. You're not showing your whole face and you're just kind of being cute with it. And I would still say smile, because when you smile, naturally, it goes to your eyes, especially if you have big cheeks. I have really big cheeks. And after we're going through this, I'll kind of show you a little bit of demonstrations on me. But it's a great way to kind of tiptoe your way into getting comfortable in front of the camera. Another option is like covering your face, using a glass of wine. There's so many things you can use. Using a glass of wine and she's kind of covering her mouth. That's a great way to just kind of, tiptoe into, showing yourself on social media without having to feel like you have to get all prettied up. And if you feel uncomfortable showing your face, there's lots of different ways. You can hide it with a magazine, a book, your mug. I don't have an example of that, but you can put a mug in front of your face and kind of hide half of your face with your mug, so just your eyes are showing. That's a fun way to kind of start dabbling in it. I love the shot on the left where she's just like relaxing out on her terrace with her feet up on her computer. Now, it makes an awesome photo. Would I ever work like that? Maybe. I probably wouldn't have my laptop up like that, but I'm not going to lie. On my balcony, I have my laptop on my little outside coffee table and my mug in my hand, and normally a notepad that I'm writing in. So this is very similar to my life when I'm doing some research or educational research and I am trying to enjoy the morning. The little tip here is that you can actually find a little phone stand that on Amazon for like $30 and actually set it up, put a timer on, and take that photo. Or if you have, a significant other or a child or something to help you do this, have them snap a couple photos. You could literally get like 20 photos from this one scene right there. That's it. Putting your feet down, typing it, and start typing at your computer, a photo of you writing in your journal. There's so many different things you can do. A lot of times we kind of feel overwhelmed when we're going on Instagram and comparing ourselves to everybody else who's been doing this a long time, but they all started at the same place. They started really not knowing what to do and just trial and error. And you can get a lot of photos from something simple like this. So let me go ahead and scroll down. Okay. This is one of my favorites, and it's for business entrepreneurs specifically. This is obviously going to be a little bit more on the business side, but it's working photos, behind the scenes photos. One of the biggest things I've noticed is that if you are a product photographer, an MLM, anything like that, you post a lot of photos of your products, of whatever it is you're trying to sell, but you don't post any photos of you. Well, you need to do that because people need to connect with with you as a person, because they can buy this product anywhere. Why should they buy it from you? Well, you want to create a connection with them, kind of show them a little bit behind the scenes. If you make candles, show it. You don't even have to show your face necessarily. You can show your hands working and then build up to a photo like either one of these. She's a seamstress, or she makes cute little like pillows and things, and she just has a tape measure holding up like sample cloths, and that's it. You can take actual little videos. Reels are really, really popular right now, and Instagram. Obviously TikTok is all videos. You can do little videos. Just set up a little tripod and take a little bit of video of you doing a step behind the scenes of whatever it is that you make. If you are selling an MLM and specific products, take a photo of you using one of those products. If it's a weight loss shake, shaking up the weight loss thing, maybe telling the secrets. I apologize, I'm by a loud road, so if you hear a motorcycle driving by, that's what it is. My my little Bluetooth microphone was not working, so my apologies. But back to the subject. If you see, I lose my train of thought. It's real life. It's no one's perfect. And that's part of these photos, is you don't have to be perfect doing it. Because I completely lost my train of thought, but that's okay. One of the things you can do, if your products, weight loss products, a shake doesn't necessarily just have to be a shake. Show yourself putting a banana in it, or some fruit or lettuce. I myself put half a banana and spinach in my weight loss shakes. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and photos that you can take of yourself where you're using the product, or you're, developing the product behind the scenes. There's always something you can take a photo of, even if it's as simple as she's not smiling. This is real life. Like, she's with her purple laptop, which I love because I love purple. She's literally at her laptop with her chin in her hand, a cup of coffee, and a phone next to her. This is real life. She's not exactly smiling, because I don't know about you, but I don't smile all day when I'm working. It's a lot of thinking. Sometimes it's frowning. Sometimes it's crying. Sometimes it's pulling my hair out. And in places like TikTok and things, sharing some of those once in a while, showing your real life, that's okay. You want to show who you are and what you deal with behind the scenes. She's literally just, and again, look at what they're wearing. So you can wear something super casual. You can really dress it up, especially if you're into fashion. Obviously, you want to spiff it up. This is a fashion group. So definitely, I'm not a fashion guru by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm not the one to go to with that. I'm good with colors. But I have a good idea of if you want to match what you're wearing to your brand, but you also want to be real. So if this is what you normally wear, t-shirts and a jeans, showing some of those while you're working behind the scenes in a stories or a reel is definitely something you should do, for sure. Now, on your Instagram feed, obviously you want it to look a little bit prettier. Maybe you want it to be a bit professional and have you in something that's more stylized and fashion oriented. So I know it went pretty quick, but I know we all are very, very, very busy, especially in the middle of the week. But that's the end of this right now. So if you have any questions, and this is just 5 tips, I could really go on and on. If you have any questions, pop them into the comments. But I'm happy to share, using my own face right in front of you, some examples and work with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Let me escape. All right. So I don't see any questions coming up. But one of the best things that you can do is, and just sit in front of a mirror, literally just sit in front of a mirror, because one of the best trips for natural posing is your facial expression, obviously. Okay. So if you're trying to if you get really nervous and you're trying to smile, it's like really awkward, like this. But so earlier I wasn't on screen, but when I started thinking about my niece, my adorable sweet niece, it's just I start naturally smiling, because she's one of those cutest little kids who will name all of their pets and all their little bitty, like everything. And she memorizes it all. I swear she should be a diplomat someday. But look, the natural smile, it comes to my eyes. That's a big thing. You want to think of something that really makes you laugh and just forget about the pressure of looking perfect, because perfectionism really is, the downfall of entrepreneurs, is trying to be perfect all the time. So if you would like to go ahead and actually grab this little cheat sheet so you can actually have it on hand with you, I have the link in the comments, and you can find, I believe you'll be able to find the link in the group as well. It's just summerbearphotography.com/up-level your brand today. It's up-level- your-brand-today. I don't know why my website likes to do that, but that is the way it always names things, and it's not something that I can change. So if you would like to go ahead and download that, I'd love to have you check it out and view it. You actually can't download it. When you try to download it as a PDF, it's rough, but you can bookmark the link and watch it anytime you want. It's going to be up there for a long time. And I'm actually going to be doing a 10-day challenge here coming up on July, I believe it's 19th. And it's all about, really getting in front of it and practicing being in front of people, doing lives, doing video, doing photos. You'll actually be able to ask me questions and, post photos that you're taking, and I can critique it right there on the spot. And it really helps you get confidence, because one of the biggest issues with entrepreneurs is self-doubt, self-sabotage, and just having that imposter syndrome going on. Like, we feel like we're not good enough to teach other people, or good enough to move to the next level, or, hey, I'm not as good as that fashion guru over there. We're all good enough. I promise you that. Every single person has something to teach someone else, even when they're just starting out. If you've already started your business, you're ahead of those people who haven't even taken the leap to start their business. You're already ahead. If you're a year into your business, first of all, congrats, because you made it through COVID and you're awesome. Okay. If you were still in business and you just made it through COVID and all the lockdowns, you just pat yourself on the back, really, because you did an amazing job. So that's about it for today. And did I cover your tip? And I think you're still muted, sweetie.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't think you did. I don't think I heard it. So we'll go over that here. Your tips were way more like a higher level kind of a tip now. But still, I had never heard of it before. So maybe this could, this is a bonus little tip. So tell me if you covered this, but I don't think you did. When you are if you're taking a group photo, so you went to lunch with your girlfriends and you all decided to go, take a little group photo. If you just touch the person next to you, just gently touch them, then it just looks softer. It looks more friendlier than if you just have your, arm by your side. And, not even if you're on the end. So if you're on the end, well, I can't stand up. But if you're on the end, you just kind of touch them on their shoulder just gently. And it just looks a lot softer, and it looks super friendly. Like you actually, you're friends and you like each other, where sometimes, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's actually a big one. I use that when I'm photographing weddings a lot. And it's funny because people are like, why do I have to touch the person next to me? I'm like, dude, y'all love each other. Can you just even if you don't like each other, can you pretend like you like each other for the next few minutes, at least for the bride? Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's more for the groups. This was more focused on single portraiture, right. But yes, for groups, having your hands hanging down is the worst thing you can do. On all the photos that I showed you, I talked about putting your fingers in your pocket or hanging onto your jacket. I didn't actually show the holding onto your jacket one of those. I didn't pop that in there. It's a good one to add. But having your hands doing something, when they're hanging down, you'll look like a dead zombie.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute, your hands, because I know I've taken some photos and I have learned you just put the little bit of your fingers in your pocket. You don't put your whole finger. So what is it like? And I know you mentioned that, but what is it like if you're holding your jacket? Is there like a tip for like holding, like if I was going to like.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you a little bit. So I have something like this. So like, well, actually I have a belt on. So like just hanging my thumb in my belt would be good. Or just relaxedly like holding onto the jacket. If you have a blazer, it's really great for if you have a blazer on. And you're just kind of holding it and you're kind of leaning in. I actually use it a lot for groom's portraits, but it works well with women. So
yeah, because I wear a lot of jackets, and that's I was wearing a blazer in the picture that I was thinking of, and there was like sometimes where the hands just look kind of awkward.
Yeah, so I literally will like, sorry, it's hard to back up here. So I'm gonna take this belt off. Say, there we go. So like you just kind of like, you kind of hang like this and you kind of lean towards it like that. And you just, one hand is higher than the other. You never want them to be like holding them like this, because then it looks like, I mean, you can, that's kind of a power pose. If you want to do this, like this more masculine power pose, you can definitely do that. There's reasons to do that. But if you want to just, you just put one hand on the blazer, the other one on like the back of your hip a little bit. There's so many. And if it doesn't, if you don't like the way it looks, don't worry. But I always like having at least one hand on the blazer, pulling it down, or like pulling it down like this, and having another hand on the hip is a great way to do it. Like not even on the hip, like, oh my gosh, I'm mad at you, but kind of behind it. And you're placing the palm of your hand kind of right on where your love handle might be. If you're me, it's where your love handle is.
Like the small of your back.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, kind of the not the small of your back, because that's right behind, but like right on the side right there, and just kind of putting that, because it brings the elbow slightly behind you without having, because when you do have it to the side, sometimes it's a little bit more like, I don't know, in your face. And it doesn't look good on everybody. I have really long arms. So for me, it looks kind of weird for me.
It just softens it a little bit, probably.
It does soften it. It doesn't give it such that angular look that looks really funny. But if that's something like I just did a wedding the other day, and her and her friends, that's how they always do their selfies. And so I took photos of them like that, because that was them. And that's how they do selfies. But when you're building a brand, you want to look softer and more elegant and such. So.
I love it. Okay, so I have in the ticker going along the bottom your link. I know like a direct link is better, but so tell us one more time. So if we go to that link, what are we going to see there? What do we get?
So you're going to be able to access the link to what I just showed you, which was it's Adobe Spark thing. You don't have to have Adobe to view it, but it's an Adobe Spark page. It's basically just a web page. And you can bookmark that web page and access it anytime. The one downside with Spark Adobe is when you try to print it off, it prints kind of weird. You can print it if you want to save it as a PDF. You absolutely can. And I think actually saving it as a PDF from your just web page might work better. I know when I try to make a PDF out of it, it looks funky. Adobe needs to work on that.
So it's your presentation is on that website?
Yeah, just the presentation. Okay. Yeah. And then also, if you want to opt in to my email, I'll share some tips and tricks, some exercises to kind of get over, the mental side of it, because really most of it's mental. And then I'm also sharing with you I'm doing a 10-day challenge workshop in a group on July 19th. That's going to be really getting you, forcing you kind of to practice to get in front of the camera. It's free, of course, to get in front of the camera and actually practice doing some, doing photos, maybe even doing some video, because video is really big right now. That's one of the biggest things, is doing video. So if you're not doing video, you at least need to start trying to do it. It's not, you don't have to be perfect. I do lives and I'm not perfect all the time. Sometimes an ambulance drives by, it's just, life is life.
Yeah. I actually like lives better than pre-recording a video, because then you have the opportunity to rewatch it and think, oh, I need to redo that. Oh, I need to redo that. Where I just do a live video and it's done and I don't rewatch it. We're good.
I actually started rewatching the videos, and I actually have started liking how I sound. I used to hate the sound of my own voice. I did.
Hmm.
Then I started listening to my voice more and more, and I'm like, no, I like the sound of my voice. It just sounds different to our, when you're listening back than our own ear.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. I hear that all the time. Oh, I hate the way it sounds in video or this. And it's like, first of all, no one else is noticing that. Okay. You have stars like Sophia Bush. I was just listening to her. She's on One Tree Hill. She's got a very raspy voice. But that's iconic. Fran Dresser, like her voice is very nasally and blah, 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 blah. But she used that to her advantage. So like your voice, if you sound confident and it really doesn't matter. It's just about practice. Practice makes perfect. Just keep doing it. I shouldn't say practice makes perfect because you can't ever be perfect, but practice builds confidence. And I think you froze again, sweetie.
Yeah, it sounds like my Wi-Fi is going. So we'll probably wrap this up.
Okay.
But okay, you did an amazing job, you guys. If you're watching the replay or if you're watching live, comment and let her know what your thoughts are, what you learned, what were your takeaways. And if you have any questions, I will bring them up to her. And, if there's a lot of them, maybe we can bring her back in for 15 minutes or something, do a little quick Q&A. But I will definitely send this out too in an email so that you guys all get the replay to this and reply to the email. Let me know what your questions are. We want to make sure that you guys feel served and feel confident the next time you're ready to take some pictures, for whether it's for your family or for your business. We want you to feel confident and comfortable posing for the camera.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Crystal. We're going to close it out. I hope you guys had a wonderful, safe holiday weekend. And during the next week, I hope you feel prepared to be well-dressed for your life. All right.
Yes.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.